Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good day to Dr. Abid. My name is Raden Salma Humaira with Matric number A23CS0264. I'll be presenting about fluctuating public awareness towards environmental pollution and its solution, which is my report. Okay, so for the introduction, we'll look at the definition of the environmental health, which is affected by environmental factors from chemicals, radiation, and biology. So the sources came from home, cities, and farm nature, and all of the places. And what we're talking about is the issue from the public unawareness of how their actions in their daily lives harm the environment and to their health itself. So this is supported by the Rockefeller Lancet from 2015 report. And the thesis statement I'll talk about is about the public awareness, analyzing the actions and the reasoning, and how to solve these problems. Let's look at the factors. So we can see that we have three. I have enlisted. My bad. So the first one is that the geographical impact is a big cause for these environmental health to be affected by the environmental pollution. So diseases that is enlisted by Sorry May, such as bronchitis, is affected by the geographical impact itself. And second, urban development and workforce gap has shown that urbanization replaces nature with construction, and while the demand is increasing in jobs, the worker itself lacks the digitalization and the green tech skills that can actually increase their marketability in the market. So, lastly, we see the pharmaceutical waste mismanagement. This causes this this is caused by the public itself because most of us are unaware of how to properly dispose the pharmaceutical waste itself, and there are myths that we can actually just dispose them without knowing how. So this habit has been taught from childhood, and it is hard to be admonished from these habits become serious. In the construction industry, Musart and at Alia show that avoiding digital tech leads to inefficient workflows, and companies resist changes, and it will slow down the progresses as time goes by. Meanwhile, Pravinas et al. Study in Putrajaya my bad. Meanwhile, Pravinas showed that in Putrajaya, it reveals the alarming ignorance of the people to throw away medicine wrongly, and it pollutes water sources like the Semenyih River. Elderly folks especially face high health risk like allergies and hormone disruption. What's worse, many believe boiling water removes medicine residue, which isn't true. And lastly, the public apathy and the pollution, studied by Krishnan and et al., results in worsening air quality studies, bronchitis cases, and damages to wildlife when they study about the citizens' awareness. At the end of the day, the environment suffers because of our inaction. The solution. So we have three solutions here. We see that green construction practices promotes the low carbon building materials, which is shortened as LCBM. So this will allow for the uh, a labor worker to be trained on sustainable practices and digital tools. While this can also increase public trust on using these materials via exhibitions, credible data, and marketing. Secondly, we see that the proper pharmaceutical disposal can be managed by the Ministry of Health by doing national campaigns, allowing clinics and hospitals to conduct their own campaigns, and also via public education, we can educate students and also the public itself on how to dispose the medicines safely to prevent water pollution. And lastly, from health and public engagement, we can teach them on the ethics of the citizen science and also encourage them to do their exercises outside and and avoid of using a private transportation by also implementing governmental policy for doing urban infrastructure with greener policies. So the conclusion from my report is that the mindset of the people in this country should be changed. We should be allowed to freely choose on what are we doing after we're getting the proper exposure for the options available. So the government also have to be proactively giving away their initiative to do campaigns and stalls to allow the public to do their initiatives. So, in in conclusion, I would say everyone plays a role, and no matter how small, we are giving contributions to the environmental health, and also to the environmental state itself. Thank you very much.